escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Welcome to the channel. I post fragrance related content on this platform, and please consider subscribing and joining the family. I would appreciate that. To those who are returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I am going to be doing reviews today of decants that I got off Paige Scent, and I have pulled out the Maison Alhambras from the parcel that they sent because I thought to just group the Maison Alhambras and get them out of the way. The only Maison Alhambra that I did manage to feature was Avant Ruby, drawing inspiration of Creed Camina. Okay, and we did say that it was very similar to Creed Camina, so I'm going to take it off and then show you the two that I want to start with, but I'm going to allow them to sit because I want to compare, right? We're going to start with Decadent Wonder, which is this one. It's a vial, guys, so I do hope my camera will zoom. Decadent Wonder has been compared or likened to Love Delight by Amouage. So we're going to spray Decadent Wonder on the square strip, and I'm going to spray Love Delight on the this strip that has the triangle. So let's start with Decadent one. And in the Decadent line, guys, they've given us Decadent Dream. That one draws inspiration of the Amouage guidance. I have sprayed my Decadent Wonder here. Now let us spray the Amouage Love Delight. I just want to see to what extent these fragrances are similar, if at all, or you know what. So I'm going to spray plenty there for an Amouage, plenty there. Okay, so I am going to give you my first impressions of the opening, and then we move on to another Maison Alhambra so that I give you a proper conclusion on the dry down. All right, so the opening for the Maison Alhambra one, it's citrusy, it's spicy. I am getting that ginger. That is what the opening is doing. Quite tight on the citrusy there. Yes, there's the spiciness of the cinnamon and stuff, but it does feel like there's an inclusion of orange blossom in this, but I am not 100% certain. And as for Love Delight, okay, these fragrances are super similar. I am also getting that ginger in the opening. The ginger in the opening in here with the citruses could be maybe a neroli in here, but there is certainly a citrus. The opening of both fragrances seems similar. So we are going to worry about the dry down. So I'm going to put the blotters on the side. I've put the blotter for Decadent Wonder here together with its, you might not see it, but I've put it together with its little vial. And then I'm going to put this one, the Love Delight, here, and move on to Mia Dolcenza. By the time we're done with the other two here, I'm pretty sure we will have had those blotters get into a certain dry down that we can talk about here, because when it comes to comparison, sometimes it's really pretty tricky to tell. But so far I can tell you guys that that Decadent Wonder by Maison Alhambra as well as that Love Delight do share a lot of in common in terms of the openings there. Okay, so we move to Mia Dolcenza. Okay, so this is the vial for Mia Dolcenza, and I'm gonna waste a couple of sprays here. Oh my god, I almost sprayed myself. Okay, and tell you my thoughts. Right, this one is fruity in the open. Blackcurrant asserting itself almost immediately, and this is the blackcurrant fruit in itself as opposed to the leaf. So this does not give me green per se, you know, in the opening. And then there's a spiciness to this, some vavavoom that is usually as a result of a pink pepper and sometimes a black pepper, but I am leaning more towards a pink pepper because the pink pepper would then pick on that blackcurrant, and the two would marry absolutely perfectly. And there is wafts of a citrusiness, just a gentle citrusiness, I think, to just like dilute what's happening in here, but I wouldn't call this one a citrus fragrance. And that fruitiness is also seemingly leading to a bit of floral. So this is a fragrance, I would say, certainly on the floral side more than it is on the fruity side. And as much as it opens fruity there, it is quickly leading into the florals, the white florals, you know, jasmine especially. It could be jasmine, there could be a little bit of some tuberose, but it's mostly white florals. And why I say jasmine is it feels rich, just like what jasmine does to a fragrance. It feels rich. It's an andolic, you know, jasmine. And I like the fact that it's still making sure that this is not green. If some people get a greenness in this fragrance, then guys, we perceive scents differently. I am not getting a green fragrance. I am getting a fragrance that is built on a fruity top that quickly leads into, you know, a bed of white florals, but not having those florals push to green, and also not even having those florals push to intense floral. It has the wafts of those florals, and they hold up more than the fruitiness, but I wouldn't say this is like too gardeny floral, if that makes any sense. Now, this has been likened to well, I'm going to talk about a comment that I got in my comment section. Somebody saying this one shares similarities with Valentina Donna, Born in Roma. In terms of that, guys, I can see why this one and Born in Roma have that crowd-pleasing appeal about them, have that womanly, feminine, rich feel about them. Okay, I have smelled Born in Roma before, but I didn't buy it. It wasn't a fragrance I wanted to put my money on. It was a little bit on the simplistic side, honestly speaking. And it's not that I have a problem with simplistic DNAs, but it was one of those that I could pass, honestly, because it kind of had that crowd-pleasing accord that is used in mass-appealing fragrances. And as a reviewer, I'm kind of over that, you know, when a fragrance is beautiful, but giving me that, I kind of feel I could pass, because I want something that's going to challenge my senses. Now, let me bring it close to home. Let me fast forward to today as to clarify what I'm saying about Vavavoom. I don't have a problem with designer fragrances. I don't have a problem with mainstream fragrances. I mean, we come from there. I'm a La Vie Belle girl. I am a Miss Dior girl. So I don't have a problem with those fragrances. But fragrances, even from the designer lines, seem to be taking a direction where they're kind of entering into a niche territory, but still keeping to the fact that they're designer fragrances. One fragrance that shocked me was Le Bomba by Carolina Herrera, guys. That, you either love it or you don't. That's a sweet fragrance. I regret to this day not actually capturing my first impressions. It was intense, it was fruity, it was niche, okay, and it was heady. Either you like it or you don't. So that is kind of, I feel, a territory that these designer fragrances should be maybe entering into, because what happened when we discovered niche is it's becoming very hard to please, especially frag heads, you know, if you do a DNA that is simplistic. Now, this Mia Dolcenza, I can see it having that mass appeal, that crowd-pleasing appeal. It's sweet, it's feminine, it's floral, but for me, I am happy with just this decant. I wouldn't be the first person to rush there and buy a full size. So it's not to take away anything from Maison Alhambra, but I think maybe the glory of this is overshadowed by how polite it is, by how it has that familiarity where it will remind you of other fragrances. Okay, so that's it for Mia Dolcenza. So we move on to the last one, but remember, we're going to go back to Decadent Wonder. Celeste is going to be the next one. Okay, Celeste. This I could have bought in full size. I actually went to Dubai. I'm spraying this side because I've got. I went to Dubai Perfume Cafe and they had this Celeste. So it was a fragrance that I could have bought in full size if I wanted. The reason why I didn't add this is it's borrowing off that Jean-Paul Gaultier's Divine, I think. And Divine, especially the original, had something in there that I didn't quite like. It had a ylang that was a little bit heady, especially mixing, you know, with the white florals. But this is not bad. I have come here with a Jean-Paul Gaultier Divine clone from my perfumes, also known as a Rabiat. Yeah, and that one was a little bit too happy in the yellow florals, and I wasn't quite digging that. But this is nice, actually. Now I regret not purchasing it in full size. It's not a bad fragrance. It also has that crowd-pleasing appeal. I like how the ylang here doesn't push it to heady and too yellow florally, because that is a problem that we often have with ylang, especially if it's mixing with sandalwood. Sometimes it can just become too much of a good thing. This is not bad. It is yes, cut from that same cloth as the Divine, but it's not doing too much. Maybe I need to give it a good test wear to see if I could add it to my collection, because Maison Alhambras are generally on the affordable side, and this is Celeste. The bottle looks pretty, so I could possibly do that. There is a feel of a citrusiness here, but the citrus feel of this fragrance seems to still respect that this is supposed to be a yellow and white floral. So citrus is there at the opening, but it just builds to this beautiful white and yellow floral feminine scent. This is sexy. This is nice. Okay, and can't speak of the longevity, guys, because this is based off of first impressions. Now we go back. Okay, now we go back, way back. Is that what Keith Sweat said? I can't remember. You know, we listened to him. Is it Keith Sweat or somebody growing up? So we have Decadent Wonder, my Maison Alhambra on this blotter versus Love Delight. Now, okay, here's the thing. Love Delight in itself, the actual fragrance that I've pumped from the real thing, is not impressing me. It's not a DNA that I would run and purchase. It's a DNA that is giving me, you know, wafts of what I've smelled in a couple of fragrances before. I was hoping that it will be a little bit heightened there on the cacao, but that is not what I'm getting. It's a sweet, citrusy, floral scent. Now, in comparison to Maison Alhambra, I think they nailed, you know, this DNA, and they nailed this DNA possibly by tying it with that neroli, bergamot, lemony, or even citrusy or zesty thingy, because then it builds to what this one is doing and making it such that the similarities are so out there that you would pick the differences. I kind of feel like, you know, even sniffing them side by side is not doing much to my nose, because they have both dried down to almost, you know, the same thing. They both also have like a boozy thing, like a slight boozy thing. But this is not drunken boozy. It is in both that green note, you know, that is making it such that I think it's the weight again of that green note that is quite heightened there, making it such that they're hard to tell apart. So when it comes to this one, guys, the Maison Alhambra clone, I think it's going to be down to lasting power. Maybe this is going to have more strength in terms of lasting power, but in terms of the DNA representation, or this one as a clone of this, they nailed it, guys. And as I always say, do not sleep on Maison Alhambra fragrances. They are so affordable that you would look at them with a side eye, like, I mean, what's really in it for you if you're going to sell me an Amouage smell alike for that? But they certainly most often than not kind of nail these DNAs. So in conclusion, guys, the real thing, which is Love Delight from Amouage, is not a favorite of mine at all, despite it being an original. I do not like this type of DNA. I think I do have a full review of it on my second channel. It's floral, it's piercing, it's zesty, has a happy cypriol oil, bit of some heliotrope there. So it's really not a favorite of mine. And because this one is doing the same thing, I wouldn't rush and purchase a full size of this just based off the fact that it's drawing inspiration of an Amouage. So I am good at passing, you know, both of them, but I can certainly say yes, guys, what the other guys have been saying. This one, Decadent Wonder versus the Love Delight, you wouldn't be missing much, guys. The representation there is spot on. So it's going to be down to lasting power. And yeah, guys, that is it. I do hope you found this video helpful. Remember to turn on post notifications, that way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, guys, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.